Good morning everyone, welcome to today's circuit class. All you need is your resistance band and some floor space, and let's get ready to start with the warm-up. We're going to start with some very slow bodyweight squats, so in 3, 2, 1 we'll start to descend very slowly into the squat to a count of roughly about 5 seconds, and we're going to hold at the bottom again for roughly about 5 seconds, and then standing up again, and down we go again. You'll see pushing the knees out, keeping the toes out as well, keeping the chest lifted and the arms out as a counterbalance. Just copy the video there, use that for your timing. Down nice and slow, hold at the bottom, and then stand up. We're going to do 2 more of those. Just follow the screen. Okay, so now we're going to get into the floor in the crab position, which is on your heels and your hands. Bridge your hips up until you're almost a straight line, lift your chest, and from there we're just going to raise 1 knee at a time. We'll do 5 each leg. Try to keep your balance, keep your chest stuck out, and keep your hips high, and just flex the hips, pull 1 leg up at a time. We're doing 5 each side. And now rolling over onto your press up position, and we're going to go for our mountain climbers, which is where you take 1 big step with your leg up to the hand, drop the back knee to the floor, and then reach up with the same side hand. So I'm going to bring my left foot to my left hand now, my right knee down, and my left hand reaches up to the ceiling, and then I swap over. The aim on this is to keep your hips down and your chest up and really extend your back as much as you can. This is the last one of those, and then we're going to return to standing, and in the standing position we're going to bring 1 elbow to 1 knee and alternate between the 2. Just going to show you here what not to do, which is to curve your back down towards the knee. Instead we're going to try to keep the chest up and flex the leg as much as you can. And we're going to repeat that warm up again now, starting back with our squats. Get ready to start, and nice and slow, down we go. 5 seconds down, 5 seconds hold, and then return to standing. 4 more of those. Follow the screen for your timing. Staying active in that bottom position, drive the knees apart, lift the chest, keep that good contact with the feet. Don't let your arches collapse. So even when you're sitting there, you are working as hard as you can on your technique. Onto our crab marches now, so hands and heels on the floor, chest up to the ceiling, hips up nice and high and sticking the chest out, and then just raising 1 knee at a time, 5 each side. And over onto the front for those press up mountain climbers again, taking the big stride with the foot, and then with the same arm reaching up to the ceiling. Hips stay nice and low, chest stays really high. And onto our standing elbows to knees now, and remember, don't reach for the knee, don't curve your back. Want to keep the chest up like the image on the left, not folding like the image on the right. Okay, so we're going to start in 20 seconds. Obviously, being as we're using resistance band today, the setup is important to know how to get the best resistance out of the band. So for this first exercise, we're going to stand on the band with 2 feet. We're going to do one bent over row, and then we're just going to do one deadlift. So it's essentially like standing up, then doing a row, then standing up, then doing a row repeatedly. If your band is too light, you can turn it around in your hand so that it is twisted. This will shorten the band and mean you have to work to stretch it more. If it's too hard, you might want to only put 1 foot on the band. So have a think this round about whether this is too easy or too hard, and then you can make changes in the next 2 rounds. Make sure when you row with the band, you squeeze your shoulder blades together, and then when you stand up with your deadlift, think about your best posture, think about standing nice and tall, really driving through the ground with your legs. And laying down now with your band underneath your shoulders, you can see I've got my elbows in between the loop of the band here. So one part is under my armpits, one part is under my shoulders, and we're just doing a bench press style movement. So your elbows touch the floor and then you press up and together. You can see in my video my wrists are a little bit bent there, so you may wish to push your knuckles to the ceiling instead, and you might want to play around with the band to make it more comfortable. You should let the elbows fully rest on the floor so you're not bouncing off the floor, and then push together and squeeze at the top. Okay, bicep curls now, so keeping 2 feet on the band or just 1 foot on the band, you're going to curl your hands up to your shoulders without swinging back. Keep the palms facing each other, as it will be hard to rotate your palm with a resistance band. Although it does depend on what kind of band you've got. If you've got the plastic handles on your resistance bands, then you may well be able to rotate as you curl. Okay, something new now, keeping your feet on the band but keeping your hands a lot lower so the band isn't as tight. You're going to do 4 side steps, and then you're going to squat down and do 4 side steps the other way, and you're really pulling the band apart with your feet and trying not to let your knees cave in. Make sure you stop with enough distance between your feet that you can squat down without losing balance, and then step across. And of course, if you don't have enough space, you can do less than 4 steps. As I've said on the other exercises, you can twist the band more if you need more resistance, but make sure you've got control of this movement. Make sure the steps are controlled. You're stepping in the direction that you're going first. So when I'm going right, my right foot moves first. When I'm stepping left, my left foot moves first. Can we stand out from the crowd? Pray our turn will come around. If we search for all the dreamers in the clouds, we'd be stunned by all the colors glowing. Ditching the band now for a cardio station. We're just going to run on the spot and fire off our punches. Keep a little bend in the knee and keep your steps nice and quick.
change my life. Let it be now, let it be now. If there was ever a moment to make something of my life, let it be now.
You're about halfway, guys, so make sure you're really pushing the pace, get your heart rate nice and high. See how much fitness work you can get done in just one round. And lastly, laying down with the legs mostly straight, sit up and reach one elbow to knee and then swap to the other side. Get that twist in there as well, make sure you're turning which way you face each time you do a crunch. Okay guys, you've got the 30 seconds break now, and then we're back to our bent over row to deadlift. And just a reminder to stay well hydrated with the weather being what it is. So if it's still really hot today, make sure you have a drink now. And we've got 10 seconds until we go. So it's back to our deadlift to row. Make sure you're keeping a nice straight back and you're squeezing those shoulder blades as well. Dig your heels into the floor. And laying down with the band under your upper back and pushing up and together with your hands. Squeeze at the top of each rep. And moving on to our bicep curl now, let's work those arms. And working the legs and hips now. Let's go for those side steps and squats. You'll notice when I squat, I let my hands come down as well. That removes some of the tension on the band, which means I've got enough leg energy to push my knees apart and make space to get down into that squat. And it's running punches again, guys. Do not pace yourself, don't hold back, give it everything you've got for 45 seconds. And working the core now, bringing your knee up to your elbow. Let the legs go down to straight every time.
We can do anything together if we just try. And as long as we have our backs, whenever our foes come by.
Good work, guys. That's round 2 done. We've only got one more round left because we've got a little bit more variety today. We've got more exercises, which means we've only got time for 3 rounds. So on this last round of everything, make sure you add that little extra bit of intensity if you can, and try not to stop. Try to get every rep done that you can. We've got 10 seconds and then we're back to our deadlifts and rows. And I'm going to stop talking so we can have the music a bit louder. Hopefully that'll give you guys some motivation to carry on and get it done.
Don't look back, we're here to stay. A life we knew would come one day. And this is it, the borderline to where the future leaves us behind. The fire will burn and never die, looking through the eyes of a brand new life. And so just find me, just find me. Sparks will fly if we scream no. This is not how we're gonna go. We are the ones who will never let go. Just watch us run to where no one knows. We'll never grow. We'll never grow. We'll never grow.
Well done guys, good work. We've got 30 seconds rest and then we'll be moving on to our cool down as usual.
Day has passed like a hurricane to my heart.
Okay, so for the first stretch I need you guys to be laying on your back. And we're going to cross one leg over the other, reach your hand through the gap in the middle and pull the shin towards you, which should give you a stretch in the glute of the side that is across the body.
Hope we will meet there.
And now we're going to change to the other side, so cross the other leg over, reach through the gap in the middle and pull. So now grabbing both knees and pulling into your chest, Ideally you would lift your hips up a little bit with this one, just so you get in as much of a curve in the back as you can. You can also tuck your chin and try and get your head to touch your knees, just to really get the back rounding, just so we're stretching the muscles that go either side of the back. Still laying down for this next one, but we're going to go into our hamstring stretch. So pulling one leg up, hook the fingers behind the hamstring, let the other leg go down straight and hold. If your leg really shakes when you do this, just relax your ankle. Don't pull your toes in if it makes your leg shake. And change legs. So now we're going to lift up onto the knees and sit your hips down on your heels. And then in that position we're going to take our hands together behind the back, squeeze the shoulder blades back, and then if you don't feel a stretch in your chest, you can just lift your hands back a bit higher. Just holding this position, squeezing your shoulder blades together. And you can hold that stretch for a couple more seconds, guys, and then we're done for the day. So have a great day. I'll see you again Monday for our kettlebell class. Enjoy your weekend.